Joan was born on the 29th of September in either 1326 or 1327. Her father was Edmund of Woodstock, 1st Earl of Kent, who was the sixth son of King Edward I from his second marriage to Margaret of France. Her mother was Margaret Wake, 3rd Baroness Wake of Liddell. Her father's life was lived on a fine margin, supporting his half-brother as monarch, Edward II. This would later put his loyalties to the test later in life, when her father's cousin, Isabella of France, usurped Edward's throne and ruled together with her lover, Roger Mortimer, 1st Earl of March. Joan's father's loyalties betray him when he was uncovered as part of a plot created by Roger Mortimer, that Edward II was still alive and planned to retake the throne. This would lead the whole family to be placed under house arrest at Arundel Castle in Sussex, which was part of the family's estate since being gifted to them by Edward II in 1326. Joan's father would be eventually executed by Isabella and Mortimer in 1330. In October of 1330, Edward III would arrest Mortimer and his mother at Nottingham Castle in order to take full control of the crown. After doing so, Edward III would release Joan and the rest of her family from house arrest and take care of them as his responsibility. When she was 13 years old, Joan would marry a man of twice her age in 1340. She would marry Thomas Holland of Upholland from Lancashire without royal consent, which was law for a person of her rank at this time. Soon after this wedding, Holland would depart to continental Europe as part of an English army travelling to Flanders, France and as far away as Prussia. In the winter of 1340-1341, Joan's family would betroth her to William Montague, son and heir of the 1st Earl of Salisbury. At this time, William and Joan were of both the same age. Joan would not reveal her earlier marriage to Holland for the fear that Holland would be executed. In 1344, the 1st Earl of Salisbury would pass away, and Joan's new husband, William, would inherit the title, and become 2nd Earl of Salisbury. In 1348 trouble would brew for Joan. Her first husband, Thomas Holland, would return from his military campaigns in Europe and Joan's first marriage would become public knowledge. Holland would confess his marriage to King Edward III and appeal to Pope Clement VI for Joan to be returned to him. William Montague would hold Joan captive in order that she could not testify to the Church. Eventually, in 1349, Pope Clement VI would rule in the favour of Thomas Holland and order William Montague to release Joan. The Pope also ordered Joan and Holland to be married in church and that her second marriage to the 2nd Earl of Salisbury would be annulled. At this time, Joan would have been aged around 21 to 22. Between 1349 and 1360 Joan would have 5 children with Holland. Thomas Holland, 2nd Earl of Kent, born in 1350. John Holland, 1st Duke of Exeter and 1st Earl of Huntingdon, born 1352. Edmund Holland, born in 1354 but would die in infancy. Lady Joan Holland, born in 1356. Lady Maud Holland, born in 1359. During this time, the last of Joan's siblings would die in 1352. She would inherit the titles and lands of her parents, making her the 4th Countess of Kent and the 5th Baroness Wake of Liddell. Thomas Holland, through his marriage to Joan, would made Earl of Kent in 1360. Shortly after, though, Holland would pass away, leaving Joan as a very attractive marriage prospect.